Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Kayleese. I'm so happy to see you here. So you watching my channel today tells me that you are ready to do something about your body. Whether it's get in better shape, whether it's get those curves you like, whether for you guys, you want to build those muscles, those chests and those arms for all those girls you're going to go pick up later. So what I'm going to be teaching you today is for all beginners, different exercises for you to start off with. They're going to be great beginner exercises to build up off on. So this will first increase your strength, increase your mobility, dexterity, range of motion. It's also going to increase your mentality, so your mind to muscle connection, as well as make sure that your body's getting into proper form and technique when performing future exercises going based off these beginner exercises. All right, let's jump right into it. All right, everybody, so our first exercise for today for our beginners program is going to be doing legs, and the exercise is squats. So when we do squats, there's different styles to do them in. We have your close leg, which are known as sissy squats. We have your standard leg position, which is known as conventional or traditional style. And then we have a wide stance, which is called your sumo stance. So depending on if you have any lower body extremity issues, whether you've had hip surgeries, knee surgeries, ankles, stuff like that, different stances are going to feel different for you. So for me personally, I've had both of my hips surgically repaired and reconstructed. I've had my knee repaired and reconstructed 3 times. So I got a little bit of lower body issues going on. So for me, my favorite stance and squat is to do the sumo squat. So we're gonna start with this one. Sumo squat, when we prepare for it, what we wanna do is make sure that our body is nice and tall, up straight, shoulders back, chest is up, and then we're going to look at our lower body. So when we look down, if we're looking at our hips, right in the center of our hips is where our hip flexors are. So from our hip flexors, we are going to go straight down, which should cut right over the middle of your foot. So right here, and for sumo, we're gonna go about a full another foot out wide. And from here, you can see my toes are pointed out instead of being pointed straight. This is because your knees never track straight forward. It's not a natural movement. Your knees naturally track laterally. So from here, what we need to do next is make sure that we're still keeping our chest and our shoulders back. Chest is going to be up, chin is up, and we want to get a nice curve in our back. So from a side view, having our chest up, chin up, shoulders back, we also want our hips back. So this is where we get that nice curve here in the lower back. So from there, the first thing I want you guys to start with in performing a squat is to totally forget about your knees. Pretend your knees don't exist in this movement. What we want to focus on is your hips and your glutes. So when you begin the movement, make sure your hips are back. You can see that automatically puts a slight bend in the knee, keeping our chest up. And with no weights and doing this free form, I like to keep my hands at my upper chest to remind myself to keep my chest up and elevated. This is going to prevent me from wanting to look down and bend over, because we don't want to end with our back in a tabletop position. We want to make sure our back is more upright. So now that we're in proper sumo stance, our arms are up, keeping our chest elevated as a reminder. Hips are back, knees are slightly bent. We are going to use our hips to guide our legs through the movement. Hips are going to come back, and you're gonna come down as low as you can, or just to a nice 90-degree angle here between the shin and your upper thigh area. So right here should be a 90-degree bend. If you're more flexible than that, you can do a sink all the way to the bottom. From here, we're not gonna lean on our toes and stand forward. Anytime you lean forward, you're putting all your body's weight onto your knees. That also goes for any type of impact, jumping exercises, and any weight that you add on top of your body weight. So we want to make sure we're not leaning forward on the toes, but we're leaning back and putting our weight distributing through our heels. So from here, our butt's going to come up. We're going to press through our heels, and stand straight up. And we're gonna do this one more time. So follow with me, guys. All right, we're in sumo. Hands are at our chest, chin is up, hips are back. We're gonna drop and pop. Drop the squat and pop from the squat. Drop, pop. Good. All right, we're gonna do this for 20 more times. See if you can keep along with me, guys. And here's gonna be our 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you guys go. Really good. Keep it up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. You got it. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's it. Keep it going. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good. How did that feel, guys? Awesome. All right, let's move into squat stance number 2. All right, so now that we've done the sumo squat, we're going to do the conventional / traditional style squat. So with this one, same very first position, making sure that your chest is up, shoulders back, and you're standing nice and tall, getting your diaphragm elongated so that way it's going to be easier to breathe in and out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And it's going to be very important breathing while doing these exercises to make sure that you're not holding your breath and passing out. So every time you do a rep, make sure you're taking a breath. Breathe in at the start, exhale at the bottom, breathe back in on your way up. So back to our stance. Now that we're in proper position again, for traditional and conventional style, we're gonna go from our hip flexors, and this time we're gonna go straight down to where we should be hitting the middle of our feet. And then from this position, we're gonna slightly turn our toes out. Now, to begin the squat movement, we're gonna do the exact same thing as a sumo squat. Hips back, knees slightly bent, hands at the chest, or if you prefer to do a back and up movement, we can do that as well. So I'll show you both through our workout. All right, let's begin the conventional. We're gonna do 20, stick with me. Here we go. All right, 1, 2, 3, there you go. 4, give you guys a different angle here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you guys go. 10. Good. 11. Make sure to really sink back on those heels, all right? Preventing our knees from going over our toes. This is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good. How was that, guys? Really, really great. Super proud of you. All right, now we're going to move into our sissy squats. All right, guys, so now that we've done our sumo stance, conventional / traditional stance, we're now gonna do our sissy squat stance. This stance is a lot harder because now we have to balance with our feet right next to each other. So for this one, we're just gonna begin with 10 squat movements. So from here, center of our hips, and as we come down, the center of our hips should actually be just exactly right outside the outside of your foot. When we do the squat, the same thing applies as to the other squats. Body straight, torso and diaphragm are elongated for better breathing and core strength. Chest is up, chin is up. And from here, we're gonna keep our toes straight this time instead of slightly turned out. And then now we begin our hip movement. Hips back, come to a 90-degree bend, and come back up. You'll notice when I do this squat, my back is not able to stay straight up and down. It's gonna come forward. And that's simply because by keeping your feet together like this, there's nothing holding your feet down for when you put the weight displacement on your heel. So if you did that, you're more likely to raise the toes and fall backwards. So we're gonna again do a side angle here. Feet are together, toes are straight, hand is here, hips back first, come into a 90, come back up. Good, that's one. All right, let's keep going. 2, 3. If it helps to keep your arms out, to keep your balance both front and back, go right ahead for it. 4, 5. Very good, guys. That's it. 6. Remember, keep those hips moving first. 7, 8. There we go. 2 more. 9, 10. Beautiful. All right. I hope you guys learned a lot from doing these squats. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of why I chose these 3 squats to start off with. All right, so why do we perform the sumo squat? Well, the sumo squat with our legs out wide actually targets the inside of our thighs. And the inside of our thighs is called the vastus medialis. So it's the middle part of your quadriceps. And we also have the sartorius. And that one runs from the inside and up past the groin. So that's on the inner part of your thigh as well. So by keeping a wide stance and having your toes turned out, that opens up your middle muscles to be targeted when you're performing squats. So as you're performing it, you'll notice when you come down, you're gonna get more of a stretch to the inside part of the leg, and that's gonna be the part that is gonna be activating the most when doing sumo. So the second stance, doing conventional, is gonna hit more of the center part of your quadricep. So this part is called your femoris rectus. It goes from the knee and all the way up to the hips. When we do our conventional with our toes slightly turned out, you can see that right here, you're gonna get more contraction and the lateralis is gonna pop out from the outside, which is your outside quad. And then as we're coming down, you're gonna feel good tension about right here on your quads. And as you press up, you're gonna feel the full center section start to engage. Our last squat stance, which is the sissy squat stance. Again, sissy squats aren't so sissy, but this stance works your outside quadricep. So this is called the vastus lateralis. So when we're doing this one, you can see that the lateralis right here and here has to kick in order to keep our legs straight, positioned, and in good control. So it keeps our stability. All right, so there's the 3 main reasons that we do all 3 styles of squats: the sumo, conventional / traditional, and the sissy. All right, let's move on to our second leg exercise. All right, so now we're going to move into lunges for our second leg exercise. Lunges are performed similar to the way we do squats. So when we're doing our lunges, the most important thing to remember is not to let your knees extend over your toes. So if your knees come to the middle of your foot, that's gonna be fine. You're not gonna put too much pressure or added weight onto the knees. But as soon as your knees get to your toes and over, all of your body weight, all of the added weight you have with you, and any type of walking movement causes an impact, which is gonna go straight to the knee joint and can cause future issues or injuries within the knee. So to avoid that, please make sure to stick with me and get familiar with these proper forms and techniques when performing these exercises. So next step to talk about with the lunges is now knowing that our knees cannot extend over the center of our foot. We need to make sure we're getting a proper width when we walk. So if I'm standing here and I want to take a step forward, we almost want to pretend as if our legs are giantly long and we have to do an overstep. So we're going to kind of throw ourselves in a controlled manner forward. So I'm going to start the walk with the right leg. Left leg is going to stay behind me. So I'm going to pick it up, kind of push myself forward. Now I land. When you land, I want you to pause. This is going to be step number 1. Step number 2 is making sure your weight is on the heel of your front foot and the toe of your back foot. Your core is creating stabilization to keep you upright. So from position number 1, or step number 1, step number 2 is sinking straight down. As I sink straight down, now you can see I have a good stretch in the back leg, stretching out the hip flexor and the quads. And in the front leg, I have a good almost 90-degree angle with my knee actually behind my foot. This is going to help with injury prevention. So now when we stand back up, we're going to bring the back leg up to the front leg, making sure again on the front leg, weight is through the heels, back leg, weight is through the toe. We're going to come up. This is step number 3, and 4 is bringing the legs together. Good. So now I'm going to walk back the other way and do another small explanation. And we're going to go step by step by step. Once you get comfortable going through the 4 steps to do the lunge, then you could start actually putting all the steps together in one fluid movement. For now, we're going to go step by step by step. Step number 1, take your step. Number 2, after we land, sink straight down. And notice my chest and shoulders are still up with a slight curve in my lower back. Step 3, stand up. 4, bring the legs together. Good. All right, now we're gonna perform 10 lunges on each leg. What I'm going to do, instead of doing a full walking lunge with 10 steps on the right leg, I'm going to walk forward and do a step, and instead of bringing the back leg forward, I'm gonna bring my forward leg backwards to do these lunges in a stationary position. All right, let's begin. Start with that right leg to begin the walk, or a stationary walk. Forward, down, up, together. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right, now we're on number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 2, 3, 9. 1, 2, 3, 10. Good, really good. All right, now we're gonna switch to the left leg. All right, so now that I've showed you how to do the right leg, where we take a step forward and a step back, if that's a little hard for you beginners yet, do not worry. What I'm gonna show you now is just a simple way to modify that exercise. So we're actually just gonna take, with the left leg this time, 2 steps forward. We're gonna turn around and take another 2 steps forward. So that way there's no backward stepping, loss of coordination and balance, because we wanna build that up first. So we're gonna go ahead and start again. Remember, same position. We don't want the knees over the toes. We wanna get an elongated walking stance. So we're gonna go from here, come forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, keep up with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome, now we're gonna turn around. Left leg again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. All right, there's 4 right there. Let's do another. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop, wrong leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, there we go. That was 2, 4, 6, 8. Now we got 2 more to go till 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our 10. Great job, everybody. Super proud of you. Remember, keep in mind those technicalities and the proper form when you're doing your squats. And if you have a mirror available, practice in front of a mirror. That way you're going to be able to see your body's movements visually as well as feel them physically. All right, guys, so now we've done squats, we've done lunges, and my last exercise for beginners doing leg days is going to be calf raises. So this calf raise is going to be a little bit different, or should I say calf raises, because we're going to do 3 different styles of calf raises in one single movement, or within one single repetition, we'll say. So first, what we want to do with our feet, we're going to make sure our feet are straight. And when we come up, we need to make sure that the weight is going to go on our toes. So what happens to a lot of people is when they come to do a calf raise, they end up turning their feet out. Well, guess what? Now that's going to rotate how the muscle hits your calf. So in your calf muscle, it's called your gastrocnemius. So you have 3 different parts to your calf. I won't get too technical because I don't want to confuse anybody, but the 3 parts to your calf, depending on the rotation of your foot and how you go up on your toes, is going to change which part of your calf you're actually activating. So when you're doing your calf raises and you're coming out and you're going on the outside of your feet, this is actually activating the outside of your calf. So if you watch from the side, you should see that outside calf pop up. If I go from behind, this is standard, and this is what usually happens. So you should see on the lateral side of the calf, that muscle pop out. So we want to avoid that, because we're going to get to that part of the calf later. Our first one that we want to hit, the part of the gastrocnemius, is just the very, very center. So we're going to keep our feet all the way pressed together. From here, we want our heels squeezed together and our toes squeezed together. So when we come up on our toes, we're going on our tippy toes, and we're actually putting pressure into our big toe. That's what's going to make sure we're hitting that center part of the gastrocnemius. So we're going to do 10 this way. That's going to be number 1. Number 2, we're going to turn our feet out like we have duck feet. And from here, same thing, up on the toes, and we want to land on that big toe and not roll out to the outer toes. So we're going to do 10 this way. And this one, you're going to see hits that inside calf muscle. Good. And then our third one, we're going to do another 10 reps of this one. This is a little bit awkward. We're going to go pigeon-toed. So it's going to feel a little weird on the knees, but that's why we're doing this without weight, okay? So from here, now we're actually going to put the weight on our outer piggy toes. So from here, up, whoop, up, and down, up, and down. Now you can see the outside calf work. Pigeon toe, up, down, up, down. From behind, up, down, up, down, up, and down. Good. So we're going to do all 3 of those different calf raise positions. We're going to do the first one, feet together, for 10. We're going to do duck feet for 10. We're going to do pigeon toe for 10. That's going to be 30 reps. We're going to do those 30 reps 3 times. All right? So do the first set of 30 with me. So then I'll have you do the second part on your own to make sure that you're getting the right form and technique and feeling the calf actually activate where it should be activating when doing each of the 3 positions. All right, let's begin this together. We do a pause and rolling. All right, so I'm gonna go up against a wall here. So for you beginners that still need a little extra help with balance, going up against the wall and facing the wall, making sure you have just enough space to put your hands here in case you do fall forward. So we're gonna begin with the first 10 feet together, going up onto the big toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now we're gonna do our duck feet. And one thing I want to add, guys, when doing these exercises, the calf raise, try not to stick your hips backwards. This one we actually want to keep our hips forward, maybe with a little bit of a glute squeeze, but keeping our hips forward, we're going to activate our lower core, which is going to incorporate more balance and stability. All right, so now we're going to begin the next 10 reps with our duck feet. Keeping our hips forward. 1, 2, 3. You might get a little glute activation out of those too, guys and ladies. Good. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Now we're gonna go in that awkward pigeon toe stance. From here, hips forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome, great job, guys. Hope you followed along, that it wasn't too hard. So now I'm gonna let you guys roll on your own and do these calf exercises for 2 more rounds to complete your 3 sets of 30 reps. All right, good luck. Alrighty, so now that we've completed the calf raises, I hope you guys are feeling that burn. Now I'm gonna give a little brief explanation of why I chose these 3 exercises for beginner leg movements to build the lower body. So for squats specifically, it works all parts of the leg. You're working your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, and your calves, and you're learning weight distribution. So by learning how to keep your weight on your heels instead of on your toes, it's gonna spare your knees a whole lot of damage come the future, okay? And by activating all of our lower body extremity muscles, you're going to actually grow more strength and power. And you get to burn more calories during your workout because your legs are the largest muscle group in your body. Secondly, lunges. Why are lunges so great? Well, lunges really help with range of motion, flexibility, and they work all parts of the legs as well. So when you take that lunge, now we're working our glutes and our hamstrings on the back leg to stabilize from falling forward on the front. The front leg, our quad and our shins are actually activating to keep ourselves from falling forward or backwards as well. And when we come down, this comes the stretch part in that hip. And then when we come back up, this is the balance and the core part, bringing our foot back together, and that little lift off here at the end. You see that right there? That's a calf raise. So now we've hit all major parts of the lower body. And again, the last exercises that we did, the 3 different styles of calf raises, now you're hitting all 3 parts of the gastrocnemius and not just one. So good luck, guys. Keep repeating these exercises, build up your strength, build up your coordination, and I will see you next time on my next video for beginner builder exercises. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below on how these exercises worked for you and how you guys are building your body. Thanks for watching.
Think I've been here before. I know But I must have met you in a